I'll give you a shot. Welcome back. This is the Wellness Wheel. I'm registered nurse Sheila Cunningham, and to my right is.
I'm Dr. Ebony January, board certified OBGYN.
And today in the studio, we have an awesome, awesome treat for you guys. We have Coach Melody in there. Some of you guys know her already.
Yeah.
She's helped you out. She is a certified holistic health practitioner, and she's certified through AADP. So, Coach Melody, welcome.
Well, thank you.
We are so
Doctor.
excited to have you in.
Well, thank you, Nurse Sheila.
Yeah.
Yes, so tell us about your actual certification and actually how you got started.
Well, how I got started is I was in the pharmaceutical industry and selling diabetes, high blood pressure, weight management medication, asthma medication. Every doctor I talked to said it really came down to taking care of your health as far as exercising and nutrition.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And what I learned is that is not so simple. It may sound simple, but just to implement it. And I'm a person that everyone came to me like, can you help me out, Melody? How do I lose weight? What should I eat? And I've just always been passionate about it since about 20. I was a little chubby thing growing up.
Really?
Yeah, I lived in California and I got into wellness. And I really started with my diet because
Right.
that's 80% of it.
Absolutely.
Oh my God,
I
yes.
say that all the time.
Yes,
80%.
yes.
Exactly. So I got started there, and I mean, I had to revamp everything. And my mother can tell you, she would have food, and I would just go buy my own stuff because it was
Really?
nothing that I ate. But
Right.
think about all those years I was eating that food.
Wow. Yes, yes.
All
yes.
the processed foods,
Mhm.
all the carbs, the sugar.
Yeah.
And so I went back to integrative nutrition because I have a degree from SIU Edwardsville. And I was in the pharmaceutical industry, just like I said. And then I went to integrative nutrition. And what I like most is, first of all, the credibility. I have a year. There's a year's training behind it, and it's a holistic approach. So it's not just about weight loss, but it's
Right.
helping people change their behavior
Yes,
modifications, changing their mindset,
Yes.
you know, starting to think about self-care techniques. And it's just so amazing in this business now. This
Yeah.
is year 3 for me.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome. And I think I must say that it has to be some willpower. That as a child you actually broke bad habits, and a lot of people don't know that at a young age. They don't know that, we always talk about women and men being the head of household, and which is, head of household is equivalent to childhood obesity. So what you put into your children reflects into them physically. And so when we talk about childhood obesity, we talk about how it is proportional to the person who is buying the groceries. So the fact that you took those bad habits and you went and you bought your own groceries, that takes some willpower. And
Yes, it does.
so you're obviously passionate about it, and
Aw.
so
Yes.
I think that's amazing.
You know,
you
it-
saw something and you changed it.
And you know what? That's funny that you say that, Doc, because when you think about it, I did. I mean, I was 18 years old
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
to the
that's
store.
true.
I started on tuna and rice cakes. Rice cakes were really big back
I know.
then.
I still eat ice
Me
cream.
too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do.
But it really, I guess, the determination, and even coming to
Yes.
school, I brought all those habits. People in college thought I was crazy. Like, oh, here you go, healthy Melody.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's like a bad thing, but really it's not. And
It's
it's
not.
something that I've kept. And, I feel like this is my passion, and I feel like God called me to do this because I can do a day, morning, noon, and night, and then wake up and do it again
Yeah.
and not even feel it.
Yeah,
That's
and
that's
it's not like
passionate
work.
right there.
Exactly,
Yes, yes.
exactly.
And because people make it hard, they feel like they're everyone that you talk to that's actually taking a diet, and the reason are on a diet, and the reason why diets don't work is because people feel like they're restricting themselves. So
Yeah.
restriction is a bad thing mentally, just to even think about, I'm restricting, I can't have this. No, I choose not to have this, and you
Right.
chose not to have this. And it's so important, like Dr. January said, is that it starts at a young age. But it was amazing that you didn't have that foundation like other people. When you hear the story of white people who started out being passionate in health and wellness, they tell you a story because they were sick. They tell
Yeah.
you a story because
They wanted to get off medication,
Yeah, they want to
you
get
know.
off of
Oh, wow.
medication.
Yeah.
But food is the best medication.
It is.
And that's what was healing you, mind, body, and spirit. And that's why you're here and you're passionate. And it does feel good to give back to other people, help other people
Yes, yeah.
learn what you know.
And just like you said, diet is bad. that's why I'm all about lifestyle change. If someone
Yes.
comes to me and say something that, no, we are doing lifestyle change
Mhm.
because
Yes,
this modification is going to be long term for you.
Absolutely.
But you have to figure out that it's techniques and strategies. You can eat anything you want.
Yes.
You have to learn how to
To eat
eat
what
it,
you
when
want.
to eat it.
When to eat it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you know, I think something that you said that was key, and something that when I talk to people about health, and when I go and speak at places, I tell them I'm not trying to change what you put in front of you. My main focus is to change how you think about what you put in front of you. I want to change behaviors.
Yes.
You know, I'm
It
all
starts there.
about
It starts
changing
there.
behaviors,
Mhm.
because you have to know why people eat what they eat.
Yes.
And you have to know why they cannot adhere to healthy eating, to a lifestyle change, how they feel about the gym. So you have to know their whys.
Yes.
And in
Very-
order to know
very
their
true.
whys, that's how you change behaviors.
Exactly.
So I think that is key. You
That
change
is.
behaviors.
Yes.
Because when you change behaviors, you change your life, and it's not a diet.
Right.
It's a lifestyle.
Lifestyle. And then, like you said, behavior modifications are
Mhm.
huge
Yes.
because people don't even understand. Like I have a part in my journal where we work through it, and we talk about mindset.
Mhm.
And every time someone reads the page, they're like, "Wow, that's me."
Mhm.
Why are you doing it? Are you
Mhm.
bored? Are
Right.
you
Mhm.
sad? Are you
Right.
anxious?
Right.
Or are you? Most of the time they're not hungry. It may mask
Exactly.
itself like thirst.
Right,
Because you're
right.
dehydrated or you're not getting enough liquids, and it's just different things. So, like you said, you have to learn to sit back and say, why?
Right.
Why am I doing this?
Why?
And food and the foods that we have in our industry now, the processed food makes you crave these things too. So along with their why, they need to learn, and I'm sure, we'll get into your awesome book right here, I
Yeah.
Love This Color. You talk to us about that. But they have to learn what they're eating and then why they're eating it. So it's the what, the
Mhm.
why, and the
Mhm.
where, just like we learned in school, right?
Exactly. The why, the where.
Right, right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you started out in pharmaceuticals. So how did you making the transition to really pursue your passion? When did you decide, hey, I need to move full force with this? This is what it is.
Well, I am still working.
Mhm.
So, but really what started it is two reasons. One, we were getting ready to have a layoff, and I'm like, I don't want to go to another job. I want to do what I want to do.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
want to be
yeah.
passionate, do something that I'm passionate about. And I started thinking, do not want to go back to school to get a whole another 4-year degree.
Right,
Mhm.
And so
right.
I started doing some research,
Mhm.
and then that's how I found the health and wellness with with integrative nutrition.
Yeah.
And the second was my boys were leaving, and so much of my life has been wrapped up in them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to be empty nesting in 2 years. What am I
See,
going
we
to
are-
do?
Yes,
Right.
we're
So
saying,
then
yes.
this became my baby, and to the
Mhm.
point where my son in his senior year said, "Mom, you know you're not coming to my stuff. Where are you?" And I had to kind of put it on hold for a minute because
Yes.
I didn't mean
Yes,
to do
you get
that.
you get
Yeah.
into it, man.
Yes,
you do.
My daughter is
Yes.
funny. She's in college now, so whenever she thinks she's gonna call me, she's like, "Can you put me in your schedule?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And then she's like, "You're always on the phone. You're always talking about the Get Fit crew. You're always doing this with Dr. January. You're
yeah.
always." So I mean, it's funny that you say that because
Yeah.
I was there. I remember when. She was graduating. I'm like, I got to do something. I got to do something for myself. And so then I guess I went engaged into
Right,
it.
you're
It was
like,
so
yeah,
awesome.
forget
I'm
about
like,
her.
yeah.
What daughter?
No, I didn't say forget about her.
What
Listen,
daughter?
no, I was
I'm
like,
kidding.
call me later. Hold on.
Right.
I would text her and I'd be like, I'm in a meeting. She's like, oh my God.
But truly, I did scale back in my son's senior year because I felt like he deserved that, and my older
Yeah,
son, he got the time.
Mhm.
So I was just happy he told me because I'm like, you could have had
Right.
a grudge
Yeah.
against
Exactly.
me.
Went off to college.
It
I'm
felt
never
like-
coming back.
right,
Mom
you know,
doesn't care about
Right.
me.
You know how kids feel. They're like,
Yeah.
well, you know what? Remember that time? And you're like, you should have told me that.
Yeah.
You
But
know, so
he
that's
stepped
true.
up and told me. So then I started nurturing the baby, and it started off really with me doing individual coaching, and I quickly realized that's more like it's just so deep to get it. People crying all the time. It becomes very emotional.
Emotion,
Yeah.
yeah, it drains you.
It is very draining. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm more dynamic. I like to move around. So that's when I got into more speaking engagements.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I started working with doing different programs so people could kind of see how it worked. And now I'm doing group coaching, which I absolutely love because I can coach 8 people instead of 1.
Right.
And then I'm helping them to create a community together.
Yes,
So
and
it's
help
not
each
about
other.
me. Right, because
Yeah.
it lets me off. So I'm facilitating, and then we have like a Facebook group where
Right.
they are all sharing, and I'm sending motivations through there. So instead of 10 people calling me all at one time,
Right.
You
I'm
just
able
do it
to
as a group. Yeah.
exactly. It's
That's
awesome.
good.
So I've seen the evolution evolution of what I'm doing and the growth of it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I just love it. I can just, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's
rewarding.
awesome.
So tell us a little bit about when you do the group coaching. Exactly, what do you do? What do you sit down and do with your clients?
Well, now it's really nice because I do everything over the phone. See, back in the day, 3
Right,
years ago, I
right.
was sitting down with
Right.
people. You got to drive here, you got to drive there.
Yeah.
I do everything over the phone.
Okay.
And I have several different programs, but one of the 21 Day Shape Up, which is what I was showing you, it comes with group coaching sessions. They get an interactive wellness journal, which I published in December of last year. And the reason why is that way we're all working through the same page.
Yes.
We all have the same
Yeah, that's
information.
awesome.
And then we're going through different concepts such as goal setting. I'm able to have them to course correct. For example, if they're eating something wrong, I can see it because I can say, let me see your journal.
Yeah.
It has the self-care techniques, positive mindset. It has physical activity, quick ways that you can, move, because it's amazing when I go out and speak. I'm like, how many people work out 5 days a week? I start with 7, no.
Right,
5,
right.
no. 4, 3, no.
Right.
They don't hardly work out. So
No.
I'm like, you have to give yourself,
Yes.
30 minutes is all you need. And it's
Mhm.
not, that's a myth about the 3 days. I'm like, you eat every day? I
need
need you to
exercise.
move every day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we
We
just
just had
talked
this
about that.
conversation.
Yeah, I'm like Dr. January. She was like
Yes.
7
Yeah.
days a week. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I tell people most days of the week.
Most,
Yes.
yeah.
Most
And-
days of the week.
And I hear that, so I kind of take, like being in the medical field, you take what makes sense to you.
Right.
And like you said, it makes sense, like you said, every day. Why not? And your endorphins. I mean, just because, and people were like, well, what kind of exercise are you doing? You don't have to do the same kind. You don't
You
have
don't.
to do muscle tearing exercises every day. But your body is made to move.
It is.
It is made to be
Yeah.
in motion. And though mentally and physically, you're going to feel better. So
I mean,
get
if
out
you
or
don't
walk
move,
if you don't.
arthritis, your
Right.
joints ache. Like, that's when you
And-
sit and think about it, it makes sense to move.
Right,
Because when
right.
you don't move,
7
you get
days a week.
stiff, things like that. And not just that, I know that when I work out in the morning, I feel better throughout the day.
You do.
That's
You know,
endorphins.
that
You got
it's
some
just
energy.
endorphin. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
you
endorphins
feel
kicking
so
in.
much better.
It's
Your
like a-
attitude, your mood, everything's so much better.
Right. And I say that food is medicine, but exercise is medicine too.
It
So
is.
taking care of yourself and health is the greatest wealth that you could ever. There's no money that you put on that.
Not at
You
all.
you don't have to say I'm a millionaire and be in a bed sick with arthritis. I
Exactly.
mean,
You
you
can't even
gotta
spend that
say, right. You can't. You gotta give it to somebody out there. Your wife who was exercising out there. You gotta give it to somebody else while you sit in the bed talking about I don't feel good.
Well, you know what? I tell people back in the day, I really think that the problem is back in the day, we were doing more physical activities, meaning in the field and doing this, a more manual labor
Oh, yeah.
jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now most people drive. I have my device to keep up with my steps.
Yes.
It is amazing to become accountable with that.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm like, wow. I mean, on the church day, on the day that I'm kind of like not really worried about it, I can get 4, 5, 6,000. That's unacceptable. I'm like 10,000 steps.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
walking.
You
I see
do.
people with the they do competitions with
the
each other
Fitbits
and stuff like
things
that.
like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
And so they're moving and I mean people are really keeping, accountable. They're accountable for it because they're trying to beat the next person, which is good,
The
And so
challenges.
the challenges. And so
Okay.
I always said that I wanted to do something for the kids because they're always on their phones. They're always doing this, video stuff. So, you got to get them where they are.
Where they are, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
know what? I do not believe in that. I don't do a lot of challenges. The only one I really like is like Goal Day, because my thing is your life is not mine. I don't know
Right.
what you're doing. You could be a PE teacher. You could be running a marathon, and it's not fair for me to feel like I need to compete with you.
Yeah.
I'm competing with myself,
Right.
and that's what I try to teach people. Don't worry about the next person.
Right.
You have your goals, and you go ahead and accomplish those. So you
Right.
set them and go
You say,
that way.
do you.
Don't do me.
Right. Do you, because I don't know where you been and you don't know where I've been. So,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Right. And I said, well, one of the things I say to everybody since meeting Dr. January is like we all get the same 24 hours.
Yes.
Yes.
So if Dr. January can do it,
I
you should
right.
be able.
Right.
So I think about that
Same
at 5
24
o'clock in the morning. Though.
Yeah.
Like, where's Dr. January? Dang, she's
Somewhere working
lifting.
out.
I know, somewhere lifting. I was like, I got to step my game up.
I work
This
out every
woman
day.
right here.
I
I
work
do
out
too.
every morning
Yes.
because that's the best time.
That's the best.
It
Oh, the
really
morning
is.
is the best time.
Yes. Yes.
I know, and I was talking to my cousin, and we were at church, and she was like, "My cousin right here, we're both in fitness," and she was asking her, she's like, "Well, I don't have time to work out."
please.
You make
No, you
time.
didn't.
Crickets.
No, you didn't.
Crickets. No, baby.
I was in a meeting the other day, and I said, this lady was saying, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that, and I said, I bet, and not to be stalkerish, but I bet that if the minute you woke up, you open your door, I'm at your house, and I followed you around for 24 hours, I can tell you times when you have wasted time, when you could have been, either working out or doing something productive, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, working out, but doing something to better yourself.
Right.
Drinking water. The young lady who does my hair, she said, Dr. January, I've been trying to get through this gallon of water for the past 2 days.
Wow.
And then she put me under the dryer. And so when she put me under the dryer, she sat in her chair and started, doing something on her phone. And I looked at her and I said, drink. And she looked up at me and she said, you're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have the same 24 hours. It's just a matter of prioritizing things that are important to you.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to cut a little corners here and there. You have to find little tricks to maximize your time.
Absolutely.
So my time is so important that I have things down to the minute.
Me too.
And I do not waste a lot of time, and I make sure that I'm going to get that workout in. If I have 30 minutes, I got my gym clothes, my shoes with me, and I have my meals with me. So you can do it,
Well, think about this. I keep a pair of shoes in every car. So
wow.
if
Right.
I'm sitting
That's
somewhere,
intense, people.
Right.
I am getting ready
Yeah.
to walk around the block or do something,
Right.
walk around a building.
Right.
But I have a client, back to what you said.
Mhm.
When she first called me, she said, I don't have enough time to work out. I said, so tell me about what your day. She said, well, I get up and I'm tired on the weekend. I'm like, so you sit on the couch and watch TV all day? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
No. That's time that you could get up and you
Right.
could prep your food and you can actually
Right.
exercise and you can move.
And you're
And
gonna feel
she-
better.
Yes,
and being
she does.
tired is
Yes.
what you're putting in your body and what you're doing to your body.
Yes.
So if you did something about that being tired, then you'd have more energy
She
once
would.
you fueled your body with the right kind of foods.
Right.
And once you made your body move.
And guess what? She started doing that once she joins the 21-day Shape Up. And
Hey, 21 Day
she's like,
Shape Up.
Melody, Coach Melody, I'm so productive. I'm so productive. Look at all the stuff that I'm doing now. She is so excited because you have to be intentional about it because you
You
don't
do.
really
You
even
really
think
do.
about the time you waste. You really
You
don't.
don't.
Oh, here it is.
Well, you listen to the Wellness Wheel on the In the Zone Network St. Louis, brought to you by Dr. E.J.